Hey guys, I'm back with another story from Tales from Tech Support, and today's story is, you spend how much on paper? If you worked in a law firm before the 2010s, you can skip this next 3 paragraphs, or don't if your blood needs a little reminiscence boiling. For the rest of you, let me explain paper. If you've not worked there, you might think of law firms as floating in money from their ridiculous fees they charge for the most minor of tasks, like a 2-second phone call. And that, they probably waste half of it. You're right. When it comes to printing, law firms are nuts. They still are. But before the early 2010s, they were on an even higher level. I stood still in a spot in a law firm's office in 2002-ish. And I could reach out and touch 4 HP 4000 printers, all with 2 additional trays and a manual feed tray in use, 5 types of stationery, and from that same spot there was the big floor standing HP 8000, just 6 feet away. That was for the big prints, and it just had reams, literally, of plain paper in it. The reason for all of this? Nothing and everything. Guys, we're in for a proper story here. Law firms have to print the first page of the client copy on headed paper. All subsequent pages on the continuation paper, which is like headed, but usually a smaller logo and address block pushed up to a thin header of the page. File copies are on plain white paper with a file copy watermark printed diagonally over it, or in the header, or somewhere else. And the plain paper might be the same plane for normal printing, or the lawyers might have argued that they want heavier stock as they're dealing with it every day, and they're the ones that bring in the damn money. Or maybe it's green paper because reasons. Then you'll have a different watermark for a copy in the situation where the original was lost, on plain paper, or headed and continuation, or blue. Why the hell not? Then there's faxes. Yes, in 2010, yes, but not now, right? Wrong. Still faxes, compliment slips, and a bunch of other ways of printing that I therapeutically removed from my memory. How can this ever work? I hear you scream. In short, really complicated printing code, often word macros, massive print dialogues, an array of print like this buttons. If you've ever wondered why IT is making a big deal about the amazing deal you can get on competitor court printers, and why they are so attached to their printer brand, ta-da! With all of these requirements on printing, there's inevitable waste, and people load the tray wrong or print to the wrong tray. There's a lot of thrown away paper, and therefore there's a market for saving printing costs. Enter MyCorp with our amazing software to make printing more accurate, saving time and frustration. I jest, but it really was good. The saving had to be played down to make it believable. As you can imagine, every firm is different. So we'd have to have a couple of hours at the client with questions and calculators to work out how much we thought the product would cost and save. We did so for one company who had the most ridiculous printing requirement I ever saw. They needed 2 copies of a file copy, one for the partner files and one for the account file. The partners one was to be printed on plain white paper. The accounts file was to be printed on green paper. To solve this, they had botched together some code to print page 1 twice, page 2 twice, page 3 twice, etc. to a specific tray. That tray, ladies and gentlemen, was filled with interleaved white and green paper, which they bought in reams, already interleaved at least double the price of the white and green paper within if they'd been separate. What's even better is that every now and then someone would accidentally print an email to that tray. 3 pages in the bin, just like that. And now the top page is green. So when someone prints their document, the green one is on top. So they throw that away. I could never understand that part. They separate them manually afterwards because they hate their stuff, I guess. So what does it matter? To get around this problem, after an incorrect print, they'd open the tray and bin another sheet so the top one was white again. So, we went over it all and we calculated that our £50,000 software would save them £330,000 every year. And 300,000 of that was the cost and waste cost associated with this green paper. Bristling with pride and thinking about the wonderful case study this could make for our product, we presented it to them and it got rejected. I'm sorry, what? They said no? We could not understand it at all. We had suggested a watermark instead of the green paper, and this was a point they raised. Sure, that we could still make enormous savings and bag ourselves a client. We redid the numbers with a tray of regular green paper. It's ridiculous, but if they have to have green paper, it will still save a ton of money getting reams of just green paper. The savings were down to about £180,000. This is annual savings for a one-off cost with a small annual fee. Still, they said no. A few months later, after another site visit, and most definitely in the pub, my boss was told that one of the partner's sons happens to run a printing company that, wouldn't you know it, supplies the firm's paper. Jeez, what a mess up of a company. So they're wanting to spend more money, but because his son's partner had a printing company, that's why they got involved. Anyway guys, let me know in the comments box below what you thought, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as it really helps me, and thank you so much for 2,200 subscribers. Really means a lot to me. Bye now.